Welcome to Flivluv, friends. That certainly feels a lot better. Welcome. And it is always beautiful and right and just to gather here today on this beautiful day that we all gather here. It's always an opportunity for us to reflect on Flivluv and the principles and the ethics and the rules of Flivluv. Thank you all for being here as always. I'm your host Samuel Romero, but everyone calls me Sammy. And I should say that a lot more often. But, I always want to get into the topics today, and I always want to just explore what Flivluv is all about. And I'm super excited, as always, to be here. Thank you for having me, as always. I want to announce some things. As you notice, the video is a little darker than usual, as I do my hand energy symbols to send you into the eternal, cosmic, intergalactic universe of existence. It's also a little darker, and I'm moving some things around, like Instagram tells you, hey, I know this DM was there, I know we could do that there, but we're moving some things around. And I'm changing up some things. I made this a little bit more darker than usual because I wanted to, when you guys watch my videos and when you watch these Flivluv shows, I want it to be easy on your eyes, like kind of like these cool glasses I'm wearing. I want it to be easier on your eyes so you guys can watch my videos in the dark, like easier, and like so it's easier on your eyes and you can just fall in love into my deep voice. I mean, a lot of people say I have a nice voice, but I have a baritone voice. I would like to think so, I can also sing high and many tunes. But yeah, I have a nice voice, and I want you guys to enjoy this video and the videos that are yet to come in a darker, like, aesthetic, But I'm doing good. I hope you guys are doing good. Welcome to Flivluv, friends. And let's get into it. But yeah, understanding and what we're getting into, and getting into all the ethics and the rules, and like we always talk about. Today's topic, definitely an interesting one that I'd like to touch up on. And all these topics and everything that we talk about in these beautiful Flivluv videos, and as we practice Flivluv together, and as we practice the philosophy, and that it's not, I'll have you know and emphasize that Flivluv is not a religion. It's a philosophy, like humanism, stoicism, Platoism, whatever ism, Flivluvism, if you want to call it that, that's great. Or you can just call it Flivluv. That's why you notice that I don't call it Flivluvism. It's just Flivluv. For everyone to be a part of, and for it to be understood easier. Flivluv. And then you can say you're Flivluvian. We use that term as well to extend the Flivluv name. But there are only two names for it. We just call it Flivluv. We don't really use Flivluvism, and we call it Flivluvian. And if you guys always forget, I like to remind you what Flivluv is. Flivluv is the beautiful philosophy of the ethics and moral code, and of all the rules that we hear and practice in the world, but combined into one on a global scale for you. Like empathy, compassion, love, beauty, self-care, self-righteousness, gratitude. All the things that we practice and hear about mixed together into one beautiful philosophy for you to understand and better your life. Flivluv. Flivluv is all these things. Flivluv is the code of ethics and the rules of the game. Flivluv is what we practice and utilize every single day in our lives to become more successful on our quest to success. Every day we use these codes of ethics and these rules. You can call them rules, you can call them ethics, but they're basically things that you have to remember in your life. And that's all what Flivluv is. The beautiful, grand scale opportunity for you to listen to and for you to hear, for you to know what Flivluv is. That's why my episodes are available to all of you beautiful people on the internet. Courtesy of YouTube. Thank you, YouTube, for thy gifts, we pray. And Flivluv is about being Christian, too. Being Muslim, that's fine as well. Being Islam, being Jewish, being mixed races of all the walks of life. This is what Flivluv is all about. It doesn't have a certain ethical or non-ethical prevention. It doesn't say that we can't accept people because of their certain nationality, race, gender, ideology, or whatever the reason is. We can accept everyone. We can be as one together in this one philosophy, Flivluv. The Flivluv philosophy is for you as well as it is for me. And that is what Flivluv is all about. But there's one topic I'd like to discuss, or as we always emphasize what Flivluv is in each episode as we dive into these episodes. There is one rule that we like to discuss in each episode. And today's rule is resilience. Resilience, friends. Have resilience. On top of gratitude, love, empathy, self-care, self-righteousness, self-esteem, it improves all your Flivluv philosophy, having resilience. So have resilience. What is resilience? Resilience is the fact that you can keep going, that you can keep pushing, that by all means, no matter what, you can keep going. Whatever's going on in your life, however you're being destroyed right now, keep going. Because you are way stronger than you think you are. So keep going. Keep blundering along, keep pushing, keep moving forward, and you will be successful. That is what resilience is all about. To keep pushing forward and to keep achieving and to keep making mistakes. This is what resilience is all about. To just let go of all what society tells you, of what people around you tell you, what your mom thinks of you, what your dad thinks of you, what anyone thinks of you, friends, loved ones. Having resilience is a strength, and it's a rule of Flivluv. So have resilience. Be strong. Keep going in your life. And don't let nobody interfere with your mental psyche awareness and your Flivluvian principle of the universe, of you being a spiritual, beautiful human being. Having resilience is not letting one in to your psyche, but that you keep pushing forward and that you keep going. That's what having resilience is all about. And in this next topic, we're talking about our destructive economy. Resilience is key to what we're talking about here today. Our destructive economy. There's no doubt that our economy is in fact destructive. Let me ask you, is it easy for you to go shopping? Is it easy to just walk into the store and buy whatever you want? Is it easy to gain shelter and food and water and just the basic necessities for yourself and your life and your family? If the answer is no, you see why our economy today is destructive. You see why today, like how I was explaining in one of my first Flivluv videos, if you go and watch them, how this world has been set up by the rich 1% elite. And that it's a broken system made for them to get richer and for you to get poorer. We emphasized and we talked about this topic, and we explained how that's true. In this life, you go to school. That's how you first start out in this life. You go to school. And I don't want to look down upon school and the schooling and education system in this world for K through 12 and the younger people of the world. But they're already taking away your time and your most precious and valuable time that you can possibly have in this life. Your early years, the years of when you are growing up from 5 years old to 17, 18 years old, which is the same time you are obligated to go to school. And like I said, I'm not looking down upon school. And I'm not saying that school is a bad institution. But in a lot of ways, it's a bit of a broken institution. You see, because I believe, and I have a whole spiel and my whole opinion on how the education systems work in this world, and it's pretty much similar in all countries. It's K through 12, kinder, grades 1 through 6, and then you go on to middle school, 7, 8, 9, and then high school, and it's pretty much the same and similar all over the world. But how it relates to our broken economy, our destructive economy, is that people like ourselves create the economy. We are responsible for contributing to the economy and to adding our goods, our work, our services that we can provide, our certain creativity, entrepreneurial ideas that we add to the economy. All these things is what we do for the economy. The economy, basically, if you don't know, is the allocation and the collection of resources and wealth amongst our people in this whole world of ours. And the economy, your economy, might be different based on the country you're from. If you're in the United States, the economy is different than if you would be in Canada. But the economy as a whole is how our money, how our resources, how our wealth, how everything works in our world today. And we as a society, we as a people, contribute to the economy with our goods, our services, our business ideas, our entrepreneurial ventures, the job that we work in, the money that we donate, the estate sales that we have, the yard sales that we have, anything that has to do with money, our loved ones that we give money to on Cash App or PayPal or OnlyFans. That's how our economy works. It's the money coming in and out. And in order for you to succeed in our destructive economy, of course, is for you to be rich. Are you rich? No. Well, then there's the problem right there. There is your problem, my friend. You're not rich. You're poor. You're middle class. You don't have the opportunities the rich do. You don't have what the 1% have. So why is that important, though? Why do you need to be rich in today's and our destructive economy? Because if you're not rich, if you're not making more than $400,000 a year, or if you're not making enough money, you have to suffer more. You have to sacrifice more. You have to take it more. You have to endure financial hardship. And going back to how our economy is destructive, the best way to succeed in life is by utilizing our time the best way possible. And going back to what I said about school, from K to 12, kinder, grade 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or whatever system you're in public education, how you started out for when you were 5 years old to 18 graduating public education. And not looking down upon education. Education is good. But the public education system is bad. Because they take your time away, most importantly, from when you're 5 years old to 18 years old. So then, and it's not by choice, you have to endure whatever public education system this is. You have to be there for the beginning of your life. That is how the world's governments work. Most governments and most democracies of the world put you in an education system, public education system, for you to endure when you're 5 years old up until you graduate at 18 years old. And it's not a choice. You have to go to this school for the most part. If you're not rich, of course. If you are rich, going back to it, if you do have money and you do have the resources and the funds, your parents and your family can send you to whatever school, utilize your time however way you want, and your time is essentially more valuable and utilized in a better way than it would be you going to public education. So when you go to public education, you would think that if they're going to take away your time from when you're 5 years old to 18 years old, okay, so this is the situation, public education. You're already taking my time. You're taking my precious time that I need to succeed in order to combat and be successful in our economy today. But no, you're having to take away like 13 years of my life. 13 to 16 for most. For some. And then some others might need more time. You're already taking away my time. You put me in this public education system. And none of what you're teaching has a lot to do with our destructive economy. The economy that is already destructive even before I even get the chance to be successful in it. So let's look at how our world's set up and how our economy is set up just quickly again. They take away your time for 13 years, 13 to 16 years in public education. During those early years of your life, from 5 to 18 years old, in those 13 years, you're not learning about how our economy works or anything relevant to how you're going to succeed in life. Then after you get out of the public education system, and they don't pay you for it either, then you're having to go to, for most people, how to succeed in this destructive economy and this world of ours. Then they make you get something called student loans for you to pay for college after you graduated from public education. So they're making you go to school for over 10 years in the first 10 years of your life. They don't teach you about how our economy and our world works. Then they make you pay for college, which is ridiculously expensive. My friends, wake up. Wake up and smell the coffee. It smells good. That is such an unjust, unfair situation for people. Don't you understand? Which is why our economy is destructive. I don't blame you people. You people deserve the best. This world of ours and the governments within the world are not giving us the best opportunities. Especially for the first 10 years of our life, where we are building confidence within ourselves, which is the most important years of our life. They're having to send us into public educational institutions that are not fair to us succeeding in the real world, which is our destructive economy. And the reason why our economy is destructive, going into it more, is that you're having to pay for all these things. College is just the one thing you're paying for. You also have to get a job straight out of high school, a career. You have to pay for shelter. And that is assuming that you have not only, well, you're working in a broken economy in your world today. But that is also assuming that you have a great family as well to go with it. And if you don't have a great family that doesn't support you, now you're having all these troubles in your life on top of our destructive economy that you have to work in and be successful in. Then once you get out of that situation finally, by the grace of God, then you have to pay for all these things. So I just got out of my situation. I just got out of this public educational institution that's just crazy, takes advantage of the first 10 years of my life. And then now, and I don't even have a great supporting family to begin with, who doesn't support me financially, and and if you do, thank God you do. That's by chance, on the very slim chance we're all here to begin with. Then finally, when you're ahead in life, finally, you have to pay for everything. Your food, your clothes, your shelter, your health care, your Medicaid, you're having to pay for certain events that happen in the future. We're having to pay for something that's going to happen later. Then you have to give to the church. Then everybody's after your money. Then you got advertising coming at you full speed. So after you get out of your bad situations in life and disadvantageous situations like public education and all those things that bring you down in our destructive economy, then you have to pay for everything. Is that fair, my friends? What you're dealing with? How expensive it is for you to live in this world? How many people are after your money? How hard you have to work just to be in a decent situation? None of us asked for this. None of us asked to participate in this world the way it is. We are playing a broken game, people. That's what really matters. What we are doing in this life. We are here in this life one time. We're here to make the most of it and not be taken advantage of and abused by our destructive economy. And this one time that we have on this planet is quite indeed very small. We're not here for a long time. 70 years. Hell, maybe with the AI race, we might live to be immortal. Of course, again, only for the rich though. So if you want to be immortal, you better have 10 million bucks laying around as well. But let's just assume we're all going to die at 70. And then, of course, after you go to college and graduate and get the career that you want, having to pay and participate in our destructive economy, that, by the way, is not our fault to begin with. It's the politicians in this world's fault. The reason why our economy is destructive. Life is not unfair. Life is so unplayable. This is not a little unfair. This is downright criminal. What's happening? And I don't blame you, Flivluvian. You deserve way more. You don't deserve to endure this economic world. You don't deserve to have to pay all these taxes the politicians and the leaders of this world demand of you. You don't deserve to pay and live in this expensive, over luxurious life that's really, really hard to pay for. Yeah, it's nice. Sure, when Uber Eats comes over. Sure, when I go get a haircut. Sure, when I have to pay for diapers. Sure, when I have to pay for my living space. Yeah, it's nice. But it doesn't have to be $1 million. It's ridiculous. We are playing a rigged game, people. And our economy is so corrupt and destructive. Which is why, again, I bring up the Flivluv philosophy. Which is why, again, I talk about being resilient. Being able to combat and use the power that God, Jesus Christ, has given you. Use the powers of the rules of Flivluv, the ethics. They're ethical rules. I call them powers. Compassion, love, empathy, gratitude, resilience. These aren't just rules, people. These are powers. These are all our superpowers that we use. And right now, I'm asking you to use the power from the Flivluv philosophy called resilience. Be resilient in this destructive economy. Be resilient. I'm getting excited about how enthusiastic I am for this. Enthusiasm, that's another power, by the way. I'm getting too excited, guys. But for real, be resilient. Be resilient from the torture you're enduring from our destructive economy and by the irresponsible leaders of this planet. And by the people who take advantage of you, and by the advertisements that are, and by the expenses, and by the time that is taken away from you in school, and all these just misfortunate things in life that make life not just unfair, unjust. Life's not right. That's not right. Life is inhumane right now. But be resilient. No matter what. Find your happiness. Try things in life. Explore your passions. Get 6 roommates. If you have to move out of your house because of a bad situation, get 6 roommates. Girls, find 6 other girls. Boys, find 6 other boys. Find a way. Get your careers. Make friends and influence people. Go into stores. Go into barbershops. Go into companies you admire. And say, hey, what's going on? My name, well, in my case, it would be, yo, what's up? My name's Samuel Romero. I'm just here to get an opportunity today. Get in their face. Tell them who you are. Tell them what you can do. And I'll give you a chance. Be resilient. Be high risk. Be successful. And stare in the face of our destructive economy. That's just unpractical and practically unlivable. So I challenge you today, Flivluvian. I challenge you today, real fan. I challenge you. To do all these things. To go out in today's destructive economy. In today's unfair business practices. I challenge you to go out and get what you deserve and do what you know you can do for the world. Know why? Because you're actually a lot stronger than you think you are. Take care, my friends. Till next time.